Good morning everybody, and welcome to Manchester Library Saturday Science STEM Club. This morning we're going to make a hot air balloon, and the first thing that you must remember when we're doing this is that you always need a grown-up's permission. And for today's experiment we also want you to have a grown-up around. So that is the most important thing to remember. Okay, so to start with, we need to make a template. There are certain materials that we need, which I have written down, so I'll show you what those are, but we need to make a template. These are our materials. So we need pencil, scissors, we need some water-based glue, we need some card or some thick paper, that's for using to make our template with. We need tissue paper, a hairdryer, and again, most important, that grown-up's permission and help. So to make the template, you need your thick card or paper. I just found this piece of paper just lying around the house, and that's big enough. You can make your hot air balloon in different sizes, but obviously it's easier if you just make it to whatever size of card or paper you've got. So this isn't too big. We're going to make one template, but then we're going to make different sections for our balloon out of tissue paper. So to begin with, and I'll show you each section as I've done it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the shape for the template, and this is going to be half of one of the sections of the hot air balloon. So when I've drawn it now, I'm just going to hold it up and show you what it looks like. So that is the shape that we want for our hot air balloon. I'll cut it out now so that you can see it more clearly. I'm doing this outside, so I've got to be very careful that things don't blow away on me. That is the shape of our template. Okay, so with this, I'm going to get some tissue paper. I've used two different colours. So I've got two pieces of red and I've got two pieces of green, which are both folded in half. So that is the full size of the tissue paper. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get them, I'll probably just do one colour at a time, that'll be easier. The pieces of tissue paper have to be the same size, so that's why we use our template. So I'm starting with the red tissue paper folded in half, and I'm going to put the template on top like that. So before I cut out, it will look like that. I'm going to draw around it to make my life easier, and I'll show you that when it's done. I'm using a Sharpie pen, but that's just so that it stands out for you to see. Obviously you can use pencil or pen or any felt pen or crayon you've got at home. So that's my first one on the red tissue paper. Put it under there so it doesn't blow away. And then I'm going to do the same. I've got two pieces of green tissue paper folded in half. And I'm going to draw around the template again. There we are. Okay, I've got my 4 pieces of tissue paper now. So I'm going to put them one on top of the other. So I'll put my red one, then my green one. Oh, it's blowing a bit. Then my red one, and then my green one. And these pieces of tissue paper are going to be glued together. Now this is the very tricky bit. I'll put my card on top to stop it blowing away. I'm going to take them one piece at a time and just lie it down on the surface. I've just brought an old paintbrush to use for the glue. I'm going to glue around the edge of this, just on one side and down to the bottom, but not the bottom. That's where we're going to put the air into the balloon when it's all put together. So I'll put it flat on here, then I'm just going to get some glue, and I'm going to glue, you'll be able to see it, I'll hold it up when I've put the glue on. It's good to keep it as close to the edge as you can, because if you get some in the middle, then these sections of tissue paper might stick together and stop the balloon inflating when we put the air in. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Can you see that clearly on the green? So you've got a border of glue going around the edge of the tissue paper. So there's my green one. I'll get my red one and just place that carefully on top so it's in position. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly lined up, but if it is, that's great. So now I've got the red one there, and I've got, sorry, the green one there, and then the red one on top of it like that. So now I'm going to do the same on the red piece of tissue paper, and I'm going to glue a border. Now when this is done, ideally you will wait until the glue dries, because you need to make sure that the edges are really sealed. If I was to blow hot air into this straight away, it might just burst the seams open because it's not dry, the glue. But luckily I have one that I made earlier, so I'll be able to show you how it works with that one. So here's my red one. Oh, I think I'll put a bit more glue there. Just at the top, that's it. So there's my red one now with its white border of glue. So then I'm going to do my green piece of tissue paper on top. Okay, lined up. There's my green piece on top now. So now I've got green on one side and green on the other side. Right. So now I need to do another border of glue. Oops. It's a bit messy, this. I have put some paper just on this surface just to make sure I don't get any glue on it. And I'm sure your grown-ups will tell you to do the same, because they'll be watching over you while you're doing it. There's my green piece with a border of glue. So my last piece now is a red one, which is going to go on top. Nicely on top. There we go. Okay, this is the one that I've already made, just because I don't have to wait for the glue to dry on this one. And I also, as an experiment, made one from some leftover packing paper. So it's a bit just like brown paper. I glued this, but I also put some sellotape around the edge to make my balloon, just to see if it would work. And it does work. It's a bit heavier, the paper though, so it doesn't work as well. So that's just to show you that you can use something different than tissue paper. So here's my tissue paper balloon that I've already made with its opening. So that's how it dried, all opened out so the bits didn't stick together. And what I'm going to do, I've got a hairdryer here without the nozzle on. So this is where you really need a grown-up to help you. I'm going to pop my balloon over the top of this and hold it in place. So this is where you need your grown-up to do this for you or with you. I've got the hairdryer underneath just so that it can blow hot air into my balloon. I'm going to hold it tightly so it doesn't blow away. I'm going to sit back a bit so you can see what happens, and then I'm going to find it. I'm going to turn my hairdryer on, not at full. I'm going to go past full to the lower setting and just let it fill up with air. Can you see it fill up with air? And then when I let it go, it should float away. Just so watch very carefully. I'm making sure all the air's sealed in. One day I'll fly away. Ooh, there we go. Now that didn't work brilliantly because I've noticed it does have a hole at the top, so you do really need to make sure that all the holes are sealed up on that. I'll try it with the brown paper one as well just to see what that's like, because this looks all sealed. It might not work as well because it's heavier. Hold it in place. Get the air going in it, give it a chance to fill up a bit, and then I'm going to let go. Leave all this to yesterday. Hey, see, that didn't work as well. But that is our experiment, and I'm sure you can make a much better job of it than I just did. Just make sure that those holes are really carefully covered up, because like I say, mine are dripped there. So make sure that if you notice a hole like that, you get some sellotape on it, and then it will float up in the air. And the reason and the science behind this is when you put hot air in the balloon, the hot air is lighter than the air around the actual balloon on the outside, which means it rises up. So that is why it works as a hot air balloon, and that's why they use air in balloons that actually fly around in the sky or float around in the sky. So I hope you have some fun having a go at making your own. And don't forget, every Saturday there will be a different science experiment for you to have a go at, and it will always be with things that you can just find around the house yourself. Or if you've not got the exact thing, you might be able to find something similar to do it with. Bye.